What you got planned for the weekend? Anything?
Finished painting.
Oh, you still painting that room?
Dude, it's almost done.
Whoa.
That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
I've been running around. Did that big trip with Ben, and then that next weekend I went down to Houston. Yeah, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, that's right. I don't blame you.
So I went to Radford's yesterday. I was helping them with they're giving away those meat bundles, and I picked myself up a pepperoni Mercurios in there. And I said, I'm going to be eating this 9-inch Mercurios like a boss. Good morning, Beth. How are you? Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Go vote, will you? Last day of early voting. Well, I guess you can tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. You can still do it at Coleman Center. Then after that, it's over. Yeah, I don't want to go anywhere or do anything. It's a sit at home and eat chili and watch football and take a bunch of naps kind of weekend. Don't you think?
Oh
yeah.
Big time.
All right. Let's do some radio.
Let's get back to your wake-up call with Phil Quinn. Brought to you by Phillips Drugs on Richmond's Classic Hits 101.
It is 29 degrees. Yeah. Here on the wake-up call, 6:45. Thanks for joining us. Jeff Lane has joined me from the newsroom. How are you, bud?
Doing fine.
Did you just yawn on the radio?
I tried not
Look,
to, but I think I did.
Look, we're supposed to be uplifting. Even when the weather's terrible and you didn't want to get out of bed today, you still got to get up and do the thing.
Yeah, I'll blame the savage who unplugged the coffee pot.
What is going on with that?
I don't know.
A couple of times now. I think it's probably the people that come in and clean. They're probably thinking, "Oh, look, I don't want any. There should be no fires. Just unplug everything." Well, not the coffee pot. Do we have to make a label?
I think so. I'm going to make a big old sign.
We're going to make a sign.
Punishable by death.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just say it's booby trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, so we get the coffee in. We'll get ourselves ready to go. Cold night last night for trick-or-treaters, but I think the issue's done.
I do too.
So we'll move on.
Yeah.
Thanks to everybody that went out and suffered through the weather. Those parents get awards.
That's right.
Yep. All right. Enough of that.
All right. Let's run into some news now, and it's our lead story, what has become our lead story this morning, is one that's going to send some ripples through the Richmond Community School System. That after the assistant principal at Test Intermediate School allegedly led police on a drunken overnight car chase. 55-year-old Christopher Ross of Richmond allegedly first failed to pull over on Richmond's west side around midnight. Multiple police units joined in. Really wasn't all that much of a chase, but he is charged now with felony resisting. It ended around Southwest 16th and National Road West. Ross's blood alcohol content allegedly .298, which is roughly 3.5 times the legal limit. Murder trial came to an end yesterday with a guilty verdict. It took a jury about 4 hours to deliberate and find Eric Larson guilty of murder yesterday. I'm surprised it took that long. It means that he'll spend most of the rest of his life in prison.
Didn't his attorney say, we admit that he killed her, it just wasn't on purpose?
That was it, yeah. And
well, how can you not? Okay.
He didn't testify. He didn't take the stand. In fact, nobody did. The defense really put on no defense whatsoever, other than in closing arguments when that argument was made. And so that's it.
Wow. Yeah. All right. They'll sentence him when?
Please. Oh, it's at the end of the month.
Okay.
Last couple days of the month. I forget the exact date. Richmond police still looking for information on something we told you about yesterday morning as breaking news. That was a shooting that occurred. The report was in the area of Northwest 5th and L. Police really found no evidence of that, though. The victim has been identified as 43-year-old Floyd Story. He was shot in the leg, non-life-threatening injuries, taken to Miami Valley Hospital. He had been apparently less than cooperative with investigators. So that
never wins. That never helps. You see it on TV shows. I'm not going to do or say anything. I'm going to wait for my attorney.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite work in the real world, does it?
Yeah, no kidding. IU's Kelly School of Business, they've set the date to present their economic forecast for the Whitewater Valley for 2020. That's November the 14th.
If they say cautiously optimistic, I'm throwing hands.
Because it's that every year? Is that
I mean, it has been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think, well, we're hopeful that things continue on the upward trend. We'll keep interest rates low. Thank you for coming today, and don't forget to leave your donation to the IU School Alumni Association at the door. We're cautiously optimistic.
See, now they're not going to say that just to spite you.
That's okay. I don't want them to. I still keep harping about this damn grocery cart that's in the middle of the road.
Is it still there?
It was there today. I thought our show had some pull, that we could persuade people to make changes to the community. And for a week and a half now, I think it's like the third time I've mentioned it. But it's right next to the 9 North 9th apartments. I'm sure somebody living in the apartments doesn't have a car, walked there, just left the cart in the middle of the road. I mean, what makes our community look more stupid?
I'm gonna go get that.
It's on Chester Boulevard. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like it's on a side street.
Yeah. You know where there's tons of them? I mean, tons.
By the pond by Richmond 40 Bowl.
Bingo.
Yeah. Well, so here's the deal on that. And I've talked to Jason Friedenberg, who owns Richmond 40 Bowl. He'd love to find a solution. But essentially, there's a lot of seniors that live in those apartments back there, and it's easy to take the cart down the hill, but they cannot take the cart up the hill. So what I always thought would be a good idea, listen up, fans, is that a scout that's looking for an Eagle Scout project, build a cart return, partner up with Walmart, so the construction project is the Eagle Scout project, and then offer a service that helps bring those carts back up for Walmart, or for, God forbid, Walmart actually go get them. Because that's what has to happen now,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
And I always thought there would be, that you would not have, do you remember Aldi's?
Yeah.
Now, I've not been since they relocated. I was always at the west side, but you had to pay, or you got 25 cents for bringing a cart back in the store, right? So you left the deposit and you got it when you came back. If Walmart did that, it'd make $1 million, because people would go and get them, right?
I would think.
But it's terrible, and they end up in the pond back there, the
Yeah.
little retention pond.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're just begging for somebody to break them. An average grocery cart runs about $250, and they have to replace them all the time. The wheels get bent and all that sort of stuff. It happens.
Yeah.
Drives me nuts. But the one on Chester Boulevard, man, it just makes us look stupid.
Yeah. I might go get that thing.
You have a Miata.
So?
Where are you going to put it?
Got a rope.
You're going to pull it?
Tie it on something and drag that
You're a kid. All right, well, that leads us to our question today, which drives me nuts. We're going to talk about trusted news sources, and I just heard our newsman, my trusted news source, tell me he was going to drag a shopping cart behind his Miata. Did you have anything else in news first, by the way? Are you done with news? Okay. So I am very curious. I think a lot of us trust how you collect the news and how you deliver it. I think that you give us stuff that we want to know. Not just what we need to know, but what we want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you trust as news sources?
Man, I don't know. It's such a layered question. But here's the thing. It depends a lot on the news story. Like if there's hard news, if there's a fire or a plane crash or something like that, virtually all of them are going to report the facts accurately. It's when we look at things like Fox News and MSNBC that are a lot of what their programming is not news, it's opinion.
It's for revenue.
Right.
I think, so what I said was anybody that's got their name in the show title, not a news reporter. There's just not. And that goes for CNN too. CNN was trying to play the middle, but their primetime hosts have a slant. I generally think the best, most balanced reporters are sports writers.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that have turned into television hosts are a little different, but usually the sports reporters they're sports writers, I wouldn't say reporters, but sports writers, keep it between the lines. Here's who scored, here's how many that scored, here's what's happening, here's the injury. I mean, that you can almost always trust a sports writer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there are rankings though. Here's the agencies that lean left, here's the agencies that lean right, and the one that I think is the most consistent according to these rankings, and I would agree with this, is Reuters.
Yeah.
They're pretty.
I think Reuters is good. The issue is, so if you say, if you read to me a Reuters report, people would go, yes, Jeff Lane's telling me that, I believe that. If I do it, there are some people out there that go, nah, I don't believe it. And I don't know. So it becomes the medium that is the person communicating.
Yeah.
And I think that's, if we could figure that out, if we could figure out who the trusted news sources were, that we all agreed, hey, if they're telling us these are the facts, if we could start there so we all agreed on what the facts were, I think we could generally get along better, don't you?
I guess.
Wow.
Where's Walter Cronkite when you need him? He's dead.
You know what? But exactly. You didn't think Walter Cronkite had an agenda. But we all know Dan Rather does, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's certainly slanted. And I'm not saying I disagree or agree. I'm just, you can't watch MSNBC all the time and not watch anything else. In much the same way, you can't watch Fox News all the time and watch nothing else. There's no way we're never gonna get anywhere. So we appreciate the number of people that trust us to deliver the news. I mean, we've just doing Facebook Live has been really helpful for us, and we've had a lot of people be positive about that.
Yeah.
It's still, I mean, not you, but it's still slanted. You know, I mean, there's still parts of the stories that we want to talk about. So, have yourself a great weekend. Stay warm, Jeff.
All right, you too.
Want to know your business with Biz Briefs on 101.7 The Point. I'm Katie Alia, and West End Bank is
Free Public Friday coming up, guys. Thank you for joining us all week. And if you miss any of our interviews, know that we have a podcast. Any of these Facebook Live events, we put on my YouTube page. That's also on the Point's blog at 1017thepoint.com. So you can catch up on any stuff, even if you're not a Facebook friend, or if you talk about what we talk about, and people go, well, I'm not on Facebook. There's other ways to get this little video. So be well, have a good weekend, stay warm, and thanks for watching.